We are into the last few days of the Jewish year, just a few days before Rosh Hashana. And this Shabbat we read the portion of Netzavim. It is the portion always read in the last Shabbat of the year. And there's a message that lies within this portion that tells us how to prepare for Rosh Hashana. The verse begins, Atem Netzavim Hayom Kulchem. Moshe Rabbeinu is talking to the Jewish people on the last day of his life, and he's saying, you stand today together before Hashem, before the Lord your God. And each of these messages within the verse are so important as we enter into Rosh Hashanah. We stand. The word stand, Netzavim, is more than just omeid, to happen to be standing. It means take a stand. Stand by your principles. Stand firm. Stand upright as you go into Rosh Hashanah. Know what you believe in and know what is important. And stand our ground as we go into Rosh Hashanah. The second message is Kulchem, every single one of you, all of Am Yisrael. We need to stand united. As the verse continues to say, there are many parts that make up a people. There are heads of tribes, there are men, women, children. There are all different levels of involvement. There are water drawers and there are wood choppers. Atem nitzavim hayom kulchem. You all stand together. It is only by being united as a people that we're able to go into Rosh Hashanah. So united like limbs of the same body, where every single limb is so vitally important. But how does one stand together if there are such differences between one human being and another? This one is very learned. He's a big Talmid Chacham. This person is very wealthy. This person has great status in terms of influence. This person happens to be a simple laborer. How do we all stand together alongside one another? The key words are Lifnei Hashem Elokeichem. If we stand before God, then the differences that exist between human beings are much less important and significant, because before God, we are children. We are God's children. Every single one of us is God's child, and therefore every single one of us is important. The Talmud tells the story of Rabbi Yosef, the son of Yehoshua ben Levi, who was absolutely on his deathbed, and his father prayed for him and he came back to his health. And the father said to him, what did you see in that other world, on the other side? And Rabbi Yosef says to his father, when I came to the heavens for that moment that my soul was leaving me, Olam hafuch ra'isi, I saw an upside down world, a world that was completely the other way around. What was important in this world is not so important there. The criteria by which people are assessed are a totally different set of criteria. And therefore, what is significant over here, that a person is very wealthy and therefore has to be honored and be identified as important, was completely not important on the criteria list of the heavens, of the spiritual test that happens in the worlds above. There's a totally different assessment. It might be about kindness and gentleness and being a human being that cares for another and lifts another human being. It might be those simple qualities that define who we are as a human being. Rabbi Yosef says to his father, the world upstairs was an olam hafik, was completely upside down. The criteria were completely different. And so it is when we go into Rosh Hashanah, we should look differently at one another. We should see each other as brothers and sisters. We should look past political persuasions. We should look past all of the things that divide minds and divide hearts and affiliations and communities and family strife and family difficulties and all the things that create the faribbles and the divisions between people. Before we go into Rosh Hashanah, Atem nitzavim hayom kulchem. You stand this day, all of you together, all and sundry. We are brothers and sisters. If we stand alongside one another, caring for each other, recognizing that the true value is that we are children of Hashem, we are all alongside one another, all God's children. Hashem will respond by giving us the year that we so desire, filled with good health, filled with joy and happiness, and nachas, a world in which we're able to share time together without all of the difficulties that we've experienced in the past years. May Hashem bless us with that Shana Tova Umetuka. Good Shabbos.